Three-story building has collapsed in the Lekki area of Lagos, with, with two persons reported dead and six rescued so far. The permanent secretary of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olufemi Damilola Oke Osayi Tolu, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday. Oke Osayi Tolu, who said the immediate cause of the incident is yet to be ascertained, added that further investigations will be conducted. So far, two adult males have been extricated from the rubble of the collapsed building. Six seriously injured adult males were rescued and were administered immediate medical care by the LRU pre-hospital care unit before being transported to Marina General Hospital for further treatment, the statement said. Lasima said its response teams have commenced search and rescue operation, and LRT is coordinating other common stakeholders for effective response at the incident scene. It added that the agency's heavy-duty equipment was deployed to the incident scene and is still in operation, and light heavy-duty equipment has been deployed for the search and rescue operation. So I would love to find out. I don't know how conversant you are with most of this um, building situation because yes, I know you have a role. You actually have an idea to an extent because oftentimes we get to wonder: is it that the building plan was not properly conducted, or they use low budget equipment, to construct most of these houses that have that we've noticed consistent collapses in time past, even in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt is not exempt. River State is not exempted in this issue. In December, if I'm not mistaken, we got a similar situation of a building collapse that has happened, of recent. This calls for worries, and if you may ask me, but I'd love to get your thoughts on this, please, sir.
In fact, you have in discussing, in fact, in bringing Port Harcourt in, it just reminded me of very sad memories on this issue of building collapse. It wasn't something that we are familiar with until what they call Sakwe, somewhere in mile 2 Dube, between mile 2 and mile 3.
Okay.
Sakwe, where pupils, primary and nursery school pupils, were studying, suddenly collapsed. And I think this happened in the late 90s, late 1990s, between 1990s and then I think the military, they were still here then. So, in fact, for every person in River State, it was a very black day. But again, since then, we have also seen some of these things reoccur. We saw, not too long ago, we saw one at the GRA Phase 3. GRA Phase 3. And some of these things are directly associated with, like you mentioned, the violation of building codes, poor materials that are being used. In fact, compromise of standards, sometimes town planning regulations, and sometimes also negligence on the part of the professionals that supervise these jobs, and the lack of diligence to do soil tests.
Okay.
We are talking about Lekki, and if you know Lekki, way back, you know that is an area that is not just swampy, but very marshy. And so, with the kind of developments that Lekki has seen, even now, the soil, the topography of that place, and in fact the soil in Lekki has remained a challenge. So we expect that the different regulators will diligently conduct, the necessary tests, make sure that the materials that are being used, that they are of standard, and ensure that along the line there's in fact no compromise. So regular inspection when these things are being done, and then the town planning division also should be up and be up and doing.
Okay, so you make culture constitution, so you talked about regulations.
Yes.
In that instance, is it that anyone that wants to build, that wants to start up a foundation, needs to, get involved or register or call to the notice of the town planning situation that you mentioned?
Yes.
That, okay, I have a building plan.
Yes.
I would need an inspection on it before I commence my building plan. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say, because you have the drawings.
Okay.
You take these drawings to the town planning division. The town planning division, Lekki being because Lekki is a new development area, so long as we are concerned.
Yeah.
It's a new development area. So you need to also liaise with the town planning division. They will be able to know whether those areas where you want to build, whether they are suitable for that kind of a structure. Here we are talking about a 3-story building. A three-story building that is being constructed. We have also seen in areas where approval will be given for 3-4 stories, and then people unilaterally, perhaps corner the town planning, the staff of the town planning division, keep them away from coming regularly to inspect, and before you know, they have increased such structures to a structure that is a land that could carry just about maybe about 3 story. Sometimes they increase it to 5, they increase it to 6.
Why do you think they do that?
Of course, they are cutting corners, but also doing themselves on the long run. They are cutting corners to do it, and but on the long run also on doing themselves, because lives, lives are involved. You know that when such things happen, the first target is life, and that's why our condolences is actually to the victims of some of these things.
So, if I may ask, most of these individuals that do not seek the consent of this the town hall committee or planning for regulations and inspection of the particular soil or the property before they commence building in that particular spot. If they do not do that, are there supposed to be penalties?
Of course, you are liable. You are liable if you are prosecuted for an area. First, you have brought your plan. Let's assume that you brought your plan.
Okay.
And they approve that, look, for this development area, in fact, for this space, it could be for a particular geographical area, within Lekki. And they say, look, we have looked at the soil here, we have conducted soil tests, it cannot carry beyond a particular, perhaps it could only carry bungalows.
Okay.
And then you went ahead, to build maybe a 2-story building, 3-story building, and this kind of thing happens. You should be held liable. In fact, enough investigation should be done to see whether some officials even aided you, to do that, or whether they negligently decided to look away.
Okay, so considering River State,
Yes.
It's River State, and most of the lands are swampy. Is that also applicable to this part of the country?
Yes.
And other parts of the country, is that the country where they have swampy areas?
In River States, these things are applicable. Go and develop land anywhere. Even way back, I don't know what it is now, but even under the military administration then, go and put anything, even at the waterfronts, and you see the Port Harcourt City local governments, they have their own town planning division.
Okay.
And immediately you see them, they come and mark X. If you have not built according to specification. Okay. And until you clear it, in fact, sometimes they will insist that you have to bring that particular part of the building, that you have to bring it down. So there are penalties, and you can be prosecuted. But a lot of things pass under the bridge. And on the long run, people just get away with some of these things.
Thank you so much on this. Thank you on your analysis on this situation.